Hey everyone, Mark Luber here. Today on JD Careers Out There, we're looking at what it's like to be a public defender, so stick around. All right, today's guest is Travis Williams, and he's a public defender in Gainesville, Georgia, who's so committed to his work that if he loses a trial, he gets his client's name tattooed on his back. Travis is featured in the documentary film Gideon's Army, which at the time of our recording is being featured on HBO. And if you haven't already seen it, I highly recommend it. And I also suggest checking out the video clip that we featured above on the page. If you're on YouTube, we'll put a link to it over here. As you might already know, at JDCOT, we help you find and succeed in fulfilling careers using a law degree by exploring career paths both in and out of law. Today we're looking at the path of being a public defender, so let's meet Travis and get started. Travis, welcome to JDCOT.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for being here. I'm really glad you're here, Travis. I saw you on The Daily Show when they were profiling Gideon's Army, and they showed a scene of you working the courtroom, and I was so impressed with your performance, I really wanted you to come on the show for the benefit of our audience so that they could all learn about being a public defender. So I'm really glad you're here. And amongst other things, I'm going to ask you to tell us about a typical day, who makes the right fit for this kind of path as far as skill sets and personality types, how to break in, and how to succeed at this. But let's start with the basics first. Tell us this. What does a public defender do?
A public defender is a criminal defense attorney that represents people that are charged with criminal offenses of all kinds, from misdemeanors to death penalty work. And what separates a public defender from just run-of-the-mill criminal defense attorney is that public defenders, we represent people that can't afford to hire their own counsel. The United States Constitution guarantees it. It was, solidified in many rulings, and we represent that promise of effective representation for somebody who can't afford to hire their own counsel.
Now, is there a typical fact pattern or scenario that you tend to deal with time and again? Let's get a feel for what you see in the course of your job.
I handle a lot of level 1 felonies, whether it be rape, child molestation, murder, and that's a sizable chunk of my caseload, but also have possession of a drug-related object all the way down to reckless conduct by an HIV person. So you run into any wide range, but it's usually some attorneys that are designated to handle some of the more serious cases.
Interesting. So I got to ask you this question because we asked this of a private criminal defense attorney, Joey Jackson, who's also a CNN legal commentator. And we asked him the same kind of question, which is, when you're defending people who did something like rape, how do you get through that when there's people in the room who have been hurt by this person? There's family members who are crying and devastated, and their lives have been affected, and you're taking the side, you're helping the person who's the bad person, right? So how is it that you get through that emotionally and handle that vibe in the room when you have these people looking at you, probably hating you?
Well, that's interesting, because I'm sure there's people that see me represent somebody charged with child molestation, and they might make the illogical jump that I'm pro-child molestation. And I'm absolutely not. I'm not pro-rape. I'm not pro-child molestation. I'm pro-Constitution. And so my job is to defend this person's constitutional rights, come hell or high water, and everything in between. So sometimes it does get uncomfortable when you're in a room full of people and the first thing they hear is what your guy's charged with, and they automatically have a negative opinion about you or about them. And sometimes it gets uncomfortable, but generally, you just pray that people keep an open mind and do your best to fight for your client. But more than anything, I recognize that my allegiance, although it is to this client, to the bounds of the ethical rules, it really is above, first and foremost, to the Constitution. So regardless of what this person is charged with, I got to do what I can to preserve this idea of liberty and justice and these rights that we talk about, but sometimes take for granted.
All right, so does being a public defender sound like a good fit for you? If you're watching on YouTube and this was helpful, please give us the thumbs up. And if you want to watch the full video interview with Travis, come on over to jdcot.com and we'll be talking about everything you want to know about the public defender path. How to break in, what's a typical day, who makes the right fit for this path, and how to succeed once you're there. If you're already at the site, you can just scroll down to the full video. Make sure you join our membership so you get access to all the great video content, the career path videos, the professional development and advice videos, and lots more. Thanks again for watching, everybody, and don't forget to check out the documentary film Gideon's Army. I'm Mark Luber, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Take care.